Hiya, Stitchy friends. I'm April with Creative Cuts and Crafts. Welcome back to my Flosstube. I guess you could say this is my first normal Flosstube. My first Flosstube was a finish parade of all of the finishes that I had from last year, 2025. And then this most recent one was actually a whip parade that showed you all of my current works in progress that I had up until that point. And that was about a week and a half ago, and I have done a lot since then. So this normal floss tube of mine is actually going to include probably a lot more finishes and fully finishes than you should ever get used to from me. But we'll see. It was a lot of fun. I think I actually have 4 fully finishes to show you, but there's a good bit to show you, and I'm very excited to to show you everything that I've done. And my one overall goal is that today you do something that you love, you grow in some sort of way, and then you can create something. So that is what I strive to do every day, is love, grow, and create. And I just want to share that with you with Flosstube, and I hope that y'all will embrace that feeling as well. So with that, let's get on to what I fully finished this week. Okay, the first one is by Shannon Christine. It's a freebie called Love Bug. It turned out so cute. So I had finished this already, but it is stitched on 32 count Lugana petals by Picture This Plus. And this is finished in one of the frames that you can find on my shop. And I think it turned out so cute. And I haven't decided if I'm going to put this on the wall yet, or if I'm just going to use like a little easel that I also make and just like prop it up on an easel. A cool thing that I have done with these frames is I have made them to where they are interchangeable. So you'll see on the back, there's a magnet. And this is not a perfect circle. I am the owner of Creative Cuts and Crafts, so that means that I get all the duds that I make. So this circle is not perfect, and that is the only thing that did not turn out perfect for this frame. But anyways, so it was still perfect enough to fit a little magnet in there and for me to use myself. So why, waste not, want not, right? So what I did is I just glued that magnet in there. See the back, front, and then on my stitched piece, I can't believe I'm going to show you all the back of this because I am not the best lacer at all, but I did lace this and I just put a little magnet on the back, and as you can see, click, it just clicks right in there. So nice. So it's interchangeable, and then I can do other stitch designs that are about this size. I think this is about a 3.5 inch opening. Don't quote me on that. I have it listed in the on the item page on Etsy, but yeah, so this was super fun to do. As you can see, the back is like this unfinished wood color, so this is what all of my frames come as. And what I did is I just used brie wax. This is golden oak brie wax, the color golden oak, and I just gave it a good coat of that wax and buffed it out, so it has a nice shine to it. But yeah, I love this color. It's kind of a neutral color of frame, so that I can interchange this stitch piece and put whatever I want to in it. So that's my first fully finish. The next, we're going to be playing Tetris over here. The next, this is another freebie, but it is by Primrose Cottage Stitches. It is called Cocoa and Cookies. This was a free stitch Friday from November of 2024. And here it is. It's so pretty. I stitched this on 32 count even weave one more reproduction by Be Stitch Me. I love that neutral fabric. I think it is so pretty. If you don't have any of that one more reproduction from Be Stitch Me, you should get some and have it on hand. But yes, this frame, you can probably guess, this is one of mine as well. And it is just a little bit bigger than this one. So it has, it actually has No, it has a little bit of a bigger opening, and just overall it's a little bit bigger on the outside. There is also more of a gap in between the sort of bead border and the inner like square border here. There's a gap there, whereas with Love Bug there's not really much of a gap. You can still see the background a little bit, but yes. So I did love that. This one is also interchangeable. There is a hole in the back that you can place a magnet in, but I didn't need to for this one. It is so tight in there right now that I just have to pop this out and then squeeze it back inside for it to fit. But if I wanted to, then I could change this one out as well. This is, yeah, this I also used Brie Wax Golden Oak on the back layer, but these two layers I used some, I don't remember the color actually. It was a paint that I already had, actually, that was my mom's, but it's just a water-based acrylic paint that you can find at Hobby Lobby or wherever. Folk Art is a common brand of those paints, but they work out well. Reds I typically have to put 2, 3, 4 coats sometimes on. I don't know why, but it's for whatever reason red. Sometimes darker colors, I guess, but yes. Cocoa and Cookies by Primrose Cottage. So pretty. This one I am so excited about. So bright and cheerful and just me. I'm ready for spring. I am still wearing a sweatshirt. Actually, this is my Fourth Wing Best Gaia War College sweatshirt. I love it. I got this for Christmas. But I'm cold. I'm still cold. But I live in Georgia, so it's like 40s, 50s. We're still getting some 30s, but very cold for us in the morning. And well, for me, anyways, very cold for me in the mornings, but then it's up to like mid 70s and 80s in the afternoon. So we are getting all the seasons throughout one day right now, but it is morning right now, so I'm cold. Anyways, I am ready for spring. I have already started some seeds indoors, and I've already planted potatoes outdoors. I have like 4 raised garden beds, and I like to grow vegetables a lot, and I have some flowers that I plant, but they're mainly just to attract those pollinators over to my vegetables and give me bigger produce. Anyway, so that's fun for me, but I have definitely been in the spring stitchy mood because of, getting my hands dirty in the garden and stuff. So I was able to fully finish Ladybug Picnic by Hands On Design. And this is in one of my frames. I do love this daisy looking frame. And the cool thing about it is you can use any of these layers that you want. So this back piece it's a full one. I didn't make it interchangeable. And that's just got my engraved logo on the bottom there. But with this back piece, you can use any of these 3 layers that you would like. You can use it to where it's just the yellow. That would be cute. You can use the yellow and the green, or you can use all 3 like I did. You can even take out this front yellow. You don't have to use it. So you can use any of these 3 layers in any combination that you want to, which I thought was really cool. But what I wanted to do was show you all 3 of them used together. And I love how it turned out. It's so good. This was stitched on the called for 32 count pomegranate. I think that's by Fabrics by Stephanie. So that one is super cute. If you hear shaking in a leash, that is my dog. He is in the room next door whining because he hears me. But he is fine. Okay, so that was fun. Last and possibly my favorite. This is Twilight Moon by Tiny Modernist. This was one of the collaborations. Oh gosh, what was it called? The collaboration with the the floss companies and whatnot that Top Knot Stitcher does. Well, this was one of those from last year's market. Oh, turned out so pretty. And this is not one of my frames. I had this, I got it from Hobby Lobby. And it had a cute little yellow bumblebee in it. And the frame was yellow. You can actually still see it on the back. It was this yellow color. And here's the number in case you want to find it. But yes, look for a yellow frame like this that has a bumblebee in it. But I painted it like this twilight blue. It's like a blue purple. Maybe it was actually called ultraviolet. That's probably right. And then I put just fine glitter metallic paint on or not metallic, what's it called? I actually have it here. Folk Art Glitterific Fine Purple Violet. So I put that just on this bead border. And I mean, it's not perfect, so, I'm showing you up close, but don't look up close. But I put that just on the bead border, and I think it gave it just enough, like, pizzazz or glitz or whatever on the outside. So it pulled in a lot more colors of the stitch piece that way. But yes, this is possibly my favorite of my finishes. I really like the ladybug. Honestly, I really like all of them. I like the cocos and cookies because the perfect colors came through that. But still. So I'm going to be hanging this up soon. I'm very excited. All right, that is all of my fully finishes, but I do have a stitched finish. So this is part of a series. I did You Grow Girl. So it's part of the Green Thumb 4-pack series. I did this one, You Grow Girl, and this is by Pickle Barrel Designs. It's actually my first stitch that I've done of theirs, so I really enjoyed it. The colors are fun. I didn't have to change anything. Well, okay, I did choose my own fabric because I'm trying to stitch from stash when it comes to my fabric. So I stitched this on 28 count Storm by Crossstitch Collection. And this is how it turned out. So once again, I'm in a very spring stitchy mood right now. All about spring stitching, flowers. But every single time that I stitched on this, it was just so funny because either my husband would ask me, "What are you stitching on?" "You Grow Girl." Like, it was so fun, and it would make both of us laugh. So it was like, oh, that's funny. That's fun. So I'm also going to be stitching the other two up here, Gardening is Dirt Sheet Therapy and Crazy Plant Lady. I am not stitching this bottom one. It's just not me. It's cute, but it's just not me. So yeah, so I'm going to be stitching. I can't wait. I've already got fabric on the Q-snap ready to go. So we'll see if I start those this week or hold off. We'll see. Okay, let's talk about whips. I have a couple. This one, I did talk about it. I'll actually put up a picture of where it was before, and then you can see the progress that I made on it. So this is Flip Flop Geometry, and it is Works by ABC. And if you remember from my whip parade, this was something that I started with my table mates at StitchCon last year in 2025. And we each chose a different color fabric, and we each chose a different color of variegated floss. So that was a lot of fun because so many of ours turned out differently. And I think I was incorrect about who finished theirs and who didn't yet. I think it's my mom finished hers, and I think Robin finished hers. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. And ladies, if you want to correct me, by all means. And honestly, if you want to share a picture with me, then I can share it with Flosstube, and that would be a lot of fun to kind of show them the different colors that have come out of something that was just charted to look like this, It's our own creativity, and I love that. So I stitched mine on 18 count Luna Moth by Be Stitch Me. And the floss is Electra by Almonds, what is it? Almonds M&M's Studio. So this is where I am now. So I actually got a lot done. I got this entire quadrant done. I only had a little bit done, maybe like around there, I guess. But I filled all of this in, and I even went over here and started on this. I think I haven't decided if I'm going to go across and then pick up and come up here and then work my way down, or if I'm just kind of going to let it, guide me, because you can see this is very like loop-de-loo, I guess, with some of these pieces, and it all really connects together. And I stitch like one of these circles at a time, one motif at a time. So it kind of doesn't bother me that I'm not stitching top to bottom the whole way. But yes, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. The fabric is nice and soft. It's not like super soft, but I really like how it feels. And this floss, this slinky floss, it is so nice. And it's silk. This is the M&M Studio, Almond M&M Studio. She has a website, but I haven't seen it updated very much. So I don't know if she's like still dyeing silk or not, but we'll see. And here is the bag that I have it in. It is by Straight from the Heart by Sue. And I'm using the little Notions bag too. So cute. It's got dragonflies on the inside. And that's the pretty back. So very pretty. The next WIP that I have is a big full coverage. Well, I think it's like a medium size full coverage. There's 43,935 stitches. But this is Nature's Throne by Stitches for You. And I will put a picture up of where it was the last time that you saw it. I'm stitching this on 20 count Mind Blowing by Fortnite Fabrics. The last time you saw it, I had 9,551 stitches in it, and that was equivalent to 21.74% complete. Now, here it is. Now I have 10,216 stitches, and that is 23.25% complete. I did a lot of stitching on this tree here. There's like a really dark blue, and then there's this really, really dark green color. That's what I was filling in. Like I pretty much stuck to that dark green. I'm not exactly a color completionist, but I do like to color complete in areas, we'll say. So if that green, I can follow it easily without counting too much, then I will. So I stitched it in the tree. I stitched it over here. I even stitched it down here behind its legs and stuff, and came over in front of the elk and put it in front of him on his chest and between his legs here. So, and now I'm on a brownish color. I think it's this color down here. But I was wanting to finish, I want to kind of like finish the elk, because I would like to see him like completely done. So I'm working on another brown color, and it's scattered throughout. I did fully finish his chest right here. I don't know what that's called. Chest to me, anyways. His neck, his like the bottom of his neck. What's that called? Anyways, it's called something on Big Game. But anyways, so I did finish that. So it's nice and filled in now, but I've still got some places there to fill in. So, and a lot on the legs. But yes. And full coverages, as you probably all know, they look better from farther away than they do up close. So here it is further away. And I think it's looking great. This is part of my family's challenge right now, at least my part of my family's challenge. And we pretty much challenge each other to do something, to accomplish something, to be productive on our hobbies. So my challenge, our most recent one started in January, and it's going to end May 1st. So my challenge for myself was to get this to 50% complete. And I said, now I am at 23.25%. So I think I can do it. I just need to focus on this one a little bit more. And maybe if I get to, there's actually a yellow color that is, I think there's a really, really dark blue and there's a yellow color that are the like highest count of stitches left. In other words, they're the ones that I'm going to be stitching the most of. So I sure would like to get to that yellow color instead of all these blue, like dark blues and greens and browns. So I might actually start working my way over a little bit. I'm not sure. I want to finish the elk first. And I do know that that means getting on a color. And with me, if that color is a little bit over here and a little bit over there and a little bit up here, then I'll do it. Because it's there and I've already got my needle threaded with that color. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. But if I kind of get the elk at a point that's done that I'm happy with, then I'm probably going to find where some of those other colors are. It'll probably be in this area where the waterfall is and whatnot, and try and work on that some. So we'll see. But yes, that is coming along. We're making progress. And that is in a Mommy Made Me bag. Well, it's upside down. Mommy Made Me. Cute Star Wars. And Star Wars on the inside. I do have a new start, only one new start, which I think I went a little crazy in January, or well, I don't know. We were doing catch up because if you heard in my last video, I talked about a 6428. My mom turned 64 this year. Sorry, not 28, 38. Wow. So my mom turned 64 this year. I am turning 38 this year. So we are committed to starting 64 projects and finishing 38 projects. And so far we are, I think, on track. I don't have exact numbers. Actually, I'll post the numbers of where I'm at right now as of this video on the screen here so that you can see sort of my progress towards that goal. But I only started one project this past week and a half, and that was Roots and Wings. And this is an old pattern. It has the actual photo on the pattern. So I had this from back in the day. And this is by Waxing Moon Designs. I do love their patterns. And as you can tell, this is another one of my spring start stitches. I'm stitching it on 28 count Linen Storm by Crosswing Collection. And here is my progress so far. I was a daredevil. I don't always do this, but I did decide to stitch that entire outline of that box first on the right. And so I am always afraid that I'm going to count wrong and I'm going to have to frog the whole thing or something. And so I just don't normally do it. But this time I was like, oh, it's just too convenient. It's right there. Like this was pretty much the middle. I could either stitch the border or I could stitch the dragonfly that's right here. And I just didn't want to stitch the dragonfly first thing. So I stitched the border and it turned out very pretty. The colors on this chart do not do these colors justice. It's a little bit of a mess because some of them are still half or, you know, like wound up to the half length. But oh my goodness, gracious me, those are so pretty. Oh, and you can also tell these are really old because it's crescent colors. And I won't show you the price because that'll just make you mad. But yes, so they are so pretty. I'm so excited to be working on this, to put all of these colors in. Yes, 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 yes. And to make it even more just, you know, perfect, I got this project bag for it. Ah, it's perfect. I love it. This is by Crab Shack Stitchery on Etsy. I will link them below. But I saw this and I was like, yes, click. I got me and mom one. It's great. This is just me. This is me all over. So yes, fun, fun, fun. All right. I'm also gonna show you a little bit about what's at my stitchy spot right now. So that was my whips and new start. But I thought that it would be cool, especially for maybe stitchers who, well, we all like to enable each other, right? So first of all, it's for that. But second of all, I have actually talked recently to some new stitchers, and it's exciting to hear them and to be able to answer some of their questions and stuff. But sometimes seeing is, you know, is a way of learning and understanding and stuff. So I want to show some of my things at my stitchy spot. And I think I'm always going to start it off with the scissors that I'm using, because I have a lot of scissors. They're lined up there. Yep. And I don't know if that's all of them or not. Probably not. But so I'm probably always going to start with my scissors. And this is going to be the perfect opportunity for me to switch my scissors out to make sure that I'm using them all. You can keep scissors in your project bags, especially if you travel and stitch while you're traveling a lot and stuff. But I typically stitch in 1 or 2 spots at my house. And I don't take my stitching with me a lot, but I would do something a little different, and I'll go over that later. But here at my stitchy spot, I don't know where my board went. I have these scissors. They're so pretty, and I've got this pretty scissor fob attached to it. So these are my colors, this blue, green, tealy color. Oh yeah. But I make sure that all of my scissors are very fine tipped. These are not the best, I'll say. They are very, very good. There's some that are a little bit pointier, and those are important for if you're doing like a pin stitch and you have to like cut really, really close to your fabric and to your other threads around it. This one actually does work really well for that. But just know, always look for super pointy scissors. And what I use to hold them is this mini, what's it? Mini stash and store. And this is a cute green one. And you can see on the top, it's like a pretty flowered, like honeycomb type design or whatever. And it's rubbery. So these are very forgiving for all different sizes of scissors or whatever you want to put in there, pens. But what I do is I just have that sitting on there, and that's on my desk. So it doesn't scratch my desk or anything. The bottom is just like a plastic type thing. So yes, keeps my desk nice and not scratched by my scissors. The next thing, this is very basic. This is like almost old school, I guess. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people do different things, but my go-to is this Loran stand, and it just folds, so I can fold it flat, and then when I'm ready to use it, pop. And I like the big magnetic board that she has for it. So this is probably what, an 8 by 12 or something like that. And I like line keepers. This one is very strong. This is one that I made. Enjoy every stitch. This has been a constant reminder for me lately, because I did have to frog a lot on that flip-flop geometry, which was silks. Silks. So bad. So as soon as I had to frog that, I was like, I'm going to get my line keeper and remind me to enjoy every stitch. So I just use this. You put your pattern up here. I won't put a chart up here, but you just put it on there and it will keep your place. You move it down as you need to be able to keep whatever line you're on. So yes, very nice. And you do need a metal thing, but it's got magnets on the back. Cool. So that is what is at my Stitchy spot. And I'll just show you a few of those with every video. I think that's fun. I am one that I like gadgets and notions and things like that. And there are just some things out there that I was like, oh my gosh, why have I not like tried that, used that until now kind of thing. So that's what we'll do. Let's get into haul. I do have a little bit of haul. The first thing of haul is I did decide to get a new pattern. It's actually 4 patterns, but I have actually, I can show you. It's just hiding right now because it's not Christmas. But no, 2 years ago, I took a class at one of the virtual retreats by, it's called the Jingle Ball. It's the virtual retreat. And they have it every year now, and we'll talk about that later. But one of the classes that was offered was by Tiny Modernist, and she taught a 3D gingerbread house class. And I fell in love. Like I actually did stitch this up before the class because you could do your pre-stitching and then you could do your finishing while you were in class. So I did that and I put it together. I didn't do it during class. I had to watch the video a couple of times and do it kind of on my own pace. But I absolutely fell in love with these 3D stitches that you could do. I thought it was very unique, and it was fairly simple to put together. She was an excellent, it's Cheryl McKinnon is the designer of Tiny Modernist. She was an excellent teacher for how to do it. It was very simple. I love her designs. So I decided that I actually had the other Christmas ones that she has, which I'll work on those later, I think. But I knew she had some spring ones too. So I got them. She has them available on her website. And this is not the best printout, but you can kind of get the idea. She has a beach house. She has a windmill, a greenhouse, and it's like a garden shed. So yes, I am going to be focusing. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do the garden shed or the greenhouse first. And I don't know if I'm going to stitch these two. We'll see. I used to be a beach person. I don't know. I think I lived in Florida and that kind of got that out of my system. But I'm now very much a mountain girl. I would much rather visit the mountains than the beach nowadays. But to each their own. I definitely still enjoy a good beach trip. But yes, the garden shed or the greenhouse. Haven't decided which one I'm going to start yet or kit up first. With this 6438, I take like a day every week or two or whatever, and I kit up like a lot of projects at once because it is so much easier to kit up 5 to 10 projects at a time instead of just one at a time, especially when you're talking about 64 starts in a year. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I have a stack of patterns, which this is now going on top of that stack of things that I want to kit up and get ready to put my first stitch into, so that way I just have to grab it and start it, which is so nice. So that was haul. I also got more Brie wax colors. So we had talked about this is the wax that I use on my frames to give them a nice stain look. So this is what they look like when they come. You can buy them on Amazon. I will link them below. But this is the big tub. I think this is, how much is this? Does it even say? 16 fluid ounces, which it's not fluid. It's a wax. It's like a paste almost. So I got 2 new colors, Antique Mahogany and Ebony. So I have recently tried the Antique Mahogany, and I'll give you a sneak peek of it. And I will also be uploading a tutorial video on how to use Brie wax on one of my frames. And that tutorial should go live when this video goes live. So you can also find that on my tutorials playlist on my Flosstube. So the sneak peek is I have a new frame designed, and it is, I have a specific purpose for this. So this is my tobacco basket frame, and this one's a little dirty on the back, but so I gotta get just a little bit of dirt out, but this is what it looks like unfinished, and this is what it looks like finished. So you can see that antique mahogany. I was really looking for like a middle brown color with just a hint of red in it, and I think that that turned out wonderfully. So I'm very excited. I have 4 of these that I made, and their purpose, if you're Primrose Cottage fans, then you are familiar with her autumn garden rounds, which I did. I finished them this past autumn, so you probably saw them in my finish parade. And lo and behold, I finished those, and she's coming out with spring ones. Ugh, my word. Anyways, so this is perfect. So what I've done is I've made this frame, and these are, I made them 4 3/8 inch rounds, which is kind of a common size. I know that Kathy from Hands On Design uses that size for a good bit, and Primrose uses somewhere around there. But you could put a 4-inch circle on this. You could put a 5-inch circle. I think the actual width of it is like 5 inches. So that would probably, or the inside of this layer is 5 inches. So that would kind of be your max. But I love how this is going to still be able to show the frame on the outside. I think that's just so pretty. And I am probably going to figure out a way to hang them to make them like a banner type thing, so I can put all 4 together. And I'm also going to put a magnet in the middle. This is wide enough to hold a magnet, or close enough, I should say. I don't know. But I am going to put a magnet in the middle, and I'm going to put a washer. You don't have to put a magnet on the back of your stitch pieces. Just put a washer, metal washer on the back, and because they're cheaper than buying double the magnets that you need. And it's so much easier to, you don't have to make sure that the magnetic fields line up and things like that, the negative and positive sides. So I'm going to do that. So that's kind of a sneak peek, of what you can find. I'll be posting these in my shop on Etsy soon. So be on the lookout for those. They do come in 3 layers, and you can see a better understanding of that in my tutorial that's going to be on YouTube. But they come with this top layer, a middle layer, and then the back layer is this vertical one that has the hook on it. So at least your hook is on the back. So you can either just hang one of these like that. You can even put it sideways. Like, I like that look too. But since I'm going to be putting 4 on top of each other, it's going to be this way. And I'm just going to find a way to connect them, whether it be twine or something. Not sure yet. That's a work in progress. And some shop updates, or not even updates, new releases. Like, they're just new releases, I'll say. The first one, so if you've been following my shop, you might have already seen these, but if not, they're so pretty. First of all, you might have already seen the smaller versions of this. These are my magnetic stitching frames. And here is the large one. I was just, with it being a larger size, I needed to make sure that the magnets were going to be very, very good for this larger size, because the smaller ones, they need smaller magnets. You don't want it to be like super, super hard to pull them apart. But this larger one and the size down, I think, did need these bigger size magnets. So you see on the back, it's got a cute design in the 4 corners. And even on the back of this one, it does the same. And this one on the front, it is Fourth Wing, a dragon without its rider. It's a tragedy. The rider without its dragon is dead. If you know, you know. So Fourth Wing. But yes, so this is the larger size. It fits like the Mill Hill sticks, the super large ones. Okay, and I also have a new patriotic design for these. These are, I just have them square right now. But yes, this is the new patriotic magnetic frame, stitching frames. On me. There we go. Pretty, pretty. But yes, just simple, and these same way. And they click together. Same with this super tiny one, better for ornaments and whatnot. But yes. So just like new sizes and designs of those. And then this is like a very, very new product for my shop. I do these floss organizers. So in those Mill Hill kits, you probably know that they don't come very sorted of their floss or anything. So I find it helpful to have floss organizers. So this is a rectangle design. Before, all of mine were circular, but I decided that I kind of like them on rectangles sometimes. So you have 20 holes here for your floss. I like the numbering so that you can keep up with it on your chart, which one is on your organizer, and you don't have to find a way to write the name or the number of the floss that you have on your organizer, since this is wood. So, and it's wood, so it's, you know, it's very stiff and will hold up well in your project bags. So a recipe for a good day: coffee, reading, and stitching. That's my good day. And then who likes Scrabble? I thought that was so fun. Cross stitching in the Scrabble blocks. And then last but not least, my Harry Potter fans, the wand chooses the stitcher. So yeah, I had fun creating those and designing those. So I hope that you will check them out in my shop. If there is anything that you like in my shop, go ahead and favorite it. And that'll kind of tell me what you like in there. And no need to purchase anything if you don't want to. Like, wait for something that, you know, strikes your eye, or maybe you like one of the frames that I showed you today. There are more to come. I'm continuously designing, like, all the time. So I think that's all I've got. So I hope that you loved something that you saw. Maybe it'll grow your stash. Maybe I've enabled you to grow your stash. And I hope that you're able to create something beautiful today. So with that, love, grow, and create. Until next time, bye.